Hey, welcome to the New Home Insights podcast by John Burns Real Estate Consulting. I'm Dean Worley, your host. Each episode, we're going to bring you some of the best minds in the housing business talking about some fascinating topics or trend or innovation or issue, just like the one you're about to listen to. Enjoy. Hey everyone, this is Dean. The following podcast was done for a New Home Trends Institute webinar in middle of March earlier this year. It's with Jamie Siminoff of Ring and Eric Feder of LENx, and it's a really fascinating look at the role of home technology and the future of technology in the home. Give it a listen. Thanks for listening.
Joining us are Eric Feder, Managing General Partner at LENx, which is Lennar's innovation and venture capital investing arm. If you want to know about real estate technology, Eric is your guy. He's been instrumental in taking Lennar through multiple huge investments, including States Title, Blend, Open Door, and Divvy Homes. Eric also has a passion for making a difference with his work at the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center at the University of Miami. Fun fact, he's also an avid pilot. Our other speaker, Jamie Siminoff, is founder and inventor of Ring. A lifelong inventor and mission-driven entrepreneur, Jamie created the world's first Wi-Fi video doorbell while working in his garage in 2011. The doorbell, then called Doorbot, which Jamie actually took onto Shark Tank, has since transformed into what's now known as Ring. Although much has changed since the company's inception, it is Ring's mission of making neighborhoods safer that continues to drive Jamie as an inventor and entrepreneur. When he's not working, Jamie enjoys spending time with his wife, son, and 3 dogs, Short Rib, Pancake, and Biscuit. Without further ado, I'm going to let Dean take it away so we can hear from this great group.
Thank you, Jenny. I am actually going to switch it up on you guys. First, I want to mention to Jamie, do you ever FaceTime Mark Cuban and just taunt him or anything like that? Because you should.
You know, Cuban, the sharks are actually really, I was able to go back on Shark Tank as a shark. So I did spend some time with them and they're really, really nice. Cuban's the one I have the least sort of social stuff with, but the other ones I do spend time with some of the other sharks and they're super nice. And yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Or you can buy a front court seat at the Mavericks game and root for the Lakers really aggressively. That could be good too.
Yeah.
I'm going to mix it up for what I just said, Eric. I'm actually start with Jamie. Jamie, tell us about this. You know, you're going way, way beyond the doorbell camera now with what you're doing with the connected home. Just give us a kind of overview of what you're doing now.
So what we have been doing is we've been on this mission at Ring to sort of, we started with the doorbell, but really if you look at our product lineup, it has really been these sort of rings of security and around the home and the neighborhood. And what we've been able to do with Lennar and Eric and the team there is really like showcase what we think the best experience in the home can be. Definitely around security with our Ring video doorbell, the alarm, but then you get into connectivity with Eero and water with Flow and the locks with Level and Honeywell for the thermostat. So really sort of bringing it all together in a way that we think makes for the best living experience in a home and in a community.
And so Ring is going to be the hub of that connected home experience. Is that the idea?
Yeah, and I would say we never intended to be a hub. I never looked at, we've talked before about this sort of smart home and the concepts around that. And I think people want to live in a home that's better. They want things around them. I don't think we're any different than an oven in terms of like, we do the thing that you need us to do for you in the home. And it turned out that Ring became a good place for these things to come together, both from a connectivity side, from a single app side, very simple, easy, clean user interface. And it does turn out, when you open Ring, you get to see the camera view of what's happening at your house. You get to sort of a good sort of status of what's going on, whether you're home or away.
By the way, Ring camera in the oven. Just throwing that out there.
I'm gonna, from our pre-show stuff, you have a lot of good ideas. So I'm just gonna start writing these all down so I don't forget all these great nuggets.
Eric, let's talk a little bit about your LENx, but talk a little bit about how you guys partnered up with Ring. What's the genesis with that and why does that work?
So our relationship with Ring, Jamie, and Amazon goes back years now. So this I would dub as our sort of version 2.0, Connected Home 2.0. 1.0, we learned a whole lot. We learned, number one, that Amazon and Jamie and Ring are incredible partners. And it starts with us at Lennar with partnership. It's sort of our core, and we're very relationship driven. So, Jamie and Ring helped us really shape our thinking in and around what we used to call smart home. Today, we're calling a connected home. Through version 1.0 into 2.0, we've learned that we're going to provide our customers not with what would be nice to have, but what are the must-haves today for our homeowners? What are our customers going to expect? What gives them the most versatile platform, the sort of the foundation, which our customers can build on? Jamie understood the importance of working with us and these other manufacturers to create a one app, integrated solution. And one of the things that we learned, Dean, historically is our customers have what I'll call app fatigue. So an app for each of these devices becomes, it's cumbersome. And so we worked with Jamie very hard to create an elegant, joyful solution for our customers so they can access all of these features right from one app. And all of the other things that we focused on historically, that call it the bells and whistles of setting scenes and movie time, and those are very nice, but there's no one size fits all relative to that. So we're allowing our customers we're giving them what we think is the best of breed in terms of a foundation. We're using Ring products, Eero and Flow and Level and Honeywell. That's the base. And with this powerful Wi-Fi provided by Eero and the Wi-Fi guarantee that Eero provides to our customers with no dead spots in our homes, our customers can add on all these other devices that are available, whether they're from Ring. And we believe that Ring will continue to be the front runner relative to innovation, technology, keeping their hardware current, keeping their software current, keeping our customers, everyone uses the term future proofing, but we believe this is the team that can do it and the team that can support our homeowners to give them the best customer experience.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to use the word smart home because last time I did, Jamie lashed out and made me cry. I mean, it was as if I had just watched The Fault in Our Stars. So I was crying I was sobbing that hard. So why, though, do you call it a connected home instead of a smart home? What's the difference?
So from my side, I really, it comes from, and we're joking, but it is, I find the smart home for customers, I don't think it's something that they want. When you're a home is like another family member. It's not an asset. And I think when you call it a smart home, you're treating the home as an asset. You're treating the neighborhood in a very sort of tactical way. And I don't think that's how people want to live in their neighborhoods and the communities that Lennar builds. I don't think it's how you want to sort of, when you enter your home, I don't think you think about it like that. And so I like connected home, and I like the idea that we are building and putting best in breed things that make your home, that I look at it as almost our job is to help enable a home to be better for you. So your home wants to tell you when there's a leaky pipe and shut it off. Your home wants to tell you when someone's at the front door when you're not there and give you the ability to let them in. Your home wants to protect you. And so we just do the things to enhance that. And that's why I don't love smart home. I like the idea that that's like our thought process and our methodology and what we do.
Yeah. Eric, anything to add to that from your side?
No, we were contractually obligated to call it a connected home. I happen to agree with you. I think they're freaking smart as can be. No, all kidding aside. No, look, the home has changed, particularly over the last 12 months, how we use our homes. The home is no longer a place that we just sleep and eat and spend time with our family. The home is a home office. The home is a home gym. The home is a home school. And, so we reshaped our thinking, connected for these reasons, and also to connect with the community, which is, with the evolution for us, as we see it, the future is the connection is beyond just the home. Community is going to be much more. We use the phrase community, the term community, I think a little too loosely. To create a real community, a sense of community, we think it has to be connected. So that's all I have to say about that, Dean. Don't put me on the spot.
Well, I'm going to.
Okay.
Jamie, how did
You're much nicer in the green room, by the way. What the hell happened to you?
I'm kind of a Jekyll and Hyde. Jamie, what was the research process like? How did you start figuring out how you wanted to design and what you wanted to be in the connected home?
I mean, we on this one, we really did. I mean, we were directionally, I would say, like sort of going down this path. It was though a partnership with Lennar that I would say put the sort of the cherry on top of this sundae, because we had a lot of the pieces in place, but it was really working with Lennar, and that's what's been fun with this is putting our Ring's, our mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Lennar is, I believe, the biggest neighborhood builder in the US. And so being able to be with a company that's literally building neighborhoods, and with on our side, a company that thinks about how you can use technology to make a neighborhood better. And we call our customers neighbors. I mean, so how, like, taking all of that together and melding it together is really what happened here. And that's where, something like flow that wasn't integrated before, and how that matters to the home. When a home has a leak, when a pipe bursts when you're not there, the damage that's done is so severe. And it's not about poor workmanship or anything. I mean, like, as everyone knows is probably on the call. I mean, there's lots of reasons why these can happen. And, it's even if your insurance covers it, the damage to your home, the having to move out, and the impact on the neighborhood, like, these are all things that are sort of emotionally harmful. And so, like, I think coming together on that, like, that's what I'm excited about, is we were able to build this package with Lennar that I think takes our mission to the next level with them. And then it's in every home in a community, and watching how communities, to what Eric was saying, is like how neighborhoods and communities can talk to each other. We have our Neighbors app, which is part of Ring. And it really allows for, I think, the most constructive way to socialize in a neighborhood around things that matter, lost pets, things that are happening in the neighborhood, being able to share that in a way that's very constructive, quick, and easy.
But did you do those kind of traditional things like the surveys and focus groups and stuff like that? Or you just asked Eric for everything?
We're not necessarily a survey company. We have a lot of, we have, millions and millions of neighbors that have product. Lennar has been in the home building and the community building business for a long time. So I think we were able to really put our heads together on this. And we have been working together also. We had been putting Ring doorbells on homes now for a few years. And so we did have sort of the learnings from that, going into this. I think this was really, though, like putting our heads together to come up with what we felt was the best package for someone to move in. And to your point earlier, or Eric's point, you can also, what's great is once you move in, you can expand into other areas of, if you want to add more sort of tech or more pieces or features to the home, very easy to add on with the baseline and foundation that we built here.
So it's adaptable. It can grow, it can change. In the process, though, of coming to the package that you ultimately came to, was there missteps? Was there stuff you discarded, stuff you found didn't work?
You go first.
The whole thing started, we were working with Lennar for a long time and had a relationship there, but Eric called me on Mother's Day. And literally I did have to, my wife was looking at me kind of with this, it's Mother's Day, and I gave her I gave her, it's Lennar, it's like we're going to do this. So it started with that. So the missteps, started right from there. But no, I think, like great things, great partnerships, great relationships have ups and downs. They have sort of those tensions. And I think it's how you react to those. And so everything we've done is not perfect, but I think it's how we support it, how we react to it. My email's on every box. So that goes all the way to the customer. So how we look at that, I think Lennar is a similar company in terms of how they look at supporting their customers. And so, from that side, we're so culturally aligned that I think that's what, has us, I think excited to work together and continue on this path.
Eric, you go ahead, but I should remind you, this is a family podcast show. So please, the language.
We are all family. I get it. And I apologize if I misstepped.
Okay.
My HR group is probably listening also. So look, for us, there were a lot of learnings, and we do listen to our customers, and we are customer focused, obsessed with customer satisfaction here at Lennar. And so for some of the things I mentioned to you earlier, the simplicity, the elegance of the experience, and another very important thing that we missed on early on, if I had to be completely transparent, is people want their activation now. When our homeowners purchase their home, they should move into their home and be able to activate, make this as much of a DIY or do-it-yourself. I've learned not to use acronyms. Do-it-yourself program as simple as possible. The program that we had historically required lead times for what we worked on as what was called a white glove activation. And that really didn't appeal to everybody. So, and we're giving our home purchasers the opportunity, like we said, the ability to expand on what's there. But people want service and they want it now, or our home purchasers do. So we've solved for that problem. Another thing that we focused on is listening devices, which we don't have in our package today. And I know it's a fan favorite, and many people enjoy having listening devices in their home. And today it's highly commoditized, and we're allowing our customers, our homeowners, to choose whatever listening devices that they'd like.
You might have just teased a little bit my next question, but I'll ask it anyway. This is for both of you guys. Is there, in terms of technology in the home, is there a too far for consumers? Is there a too much or too invasive?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I think it's not about too far. I think what it is when technology is in your home for technology's sake, that's when it becomes too far, because you're then not getting the value out of it. And so I'll say with Alexa, the value out of Alexa, and I just went and installed a bunch of Alexas at my mother-in-law's house. I just did it at a widow that lives across the street from me. And I did it for the reason of Alexa now has this thing called Guard Plus, where you can say, Alexa, I need help. And a live person will come on, ask you what the problem is, and call the police, the fire, ambulance, whatever. And so to me, is that too far? Not at all. That's an incredible thing. And I want my mother-in-law, no matter where she is in her house, so I set it up so that her voice can always reach an Alexa for that. And so look, think of the cost of that. And again, from what I said, like enabling the home to do what it wants. The home wants to keep you safe. And so with your voice now, your home can protect you. So to me, that's where technology is doing something meaningful for the customer. When it starts to do stuff that's not as meaningful, I think that's where we have that rub and where we sort of lose our way.
So it's not the invasiveness maybe, but it's the uselessness or the just over-reliance. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, uselessness is probably a harsh term since I do make this stuff, but I think it is when it's not providing real meaningful uses to the homeowner, then it becomes just gadgets and gadgets. And I think, sure, there's those, I call them gadget collectors. There's people that want that, but that's a very small part of the world. And what we try to go after are the real customers, the people that are going to, and I don't want to say my mom just because it's like my mom, but I set it up also at my mom's house. She lives in New Jersey. She lives alone. Like I was able to, for less than $400, enable her entire home to now give her help with her voice. Like that's take away Alexa, take away everything. Like that's just an amazing thing that the home can do for her now.
Eric, how about you? In your experience, is there anything that's too far or that just is not as acceptable to most folks?
I think that's so situational. Like I said earlier, there's no one size fits all, and we can't try to solve for everyone's needs, likes, and preferences. So that's why we designed this package, curated what we have here today. Those who are very particular, and like Jamie said, I think it's a very small subset of all that like these gadgets and like all these features. They are so particular about what they want to have in their home. Let them do it. Let them set it up. To try to solve for that is very complicated. And one thing I failed to mention earlier, Dean, if I could just back up a minute with regard to this package, which this is a first for us. Pardon me, it gets me choked up.
Don't cry like Jamie made me cry about using the word smart.
Yeah. But what's a first for us is, we're offering home security to every customer. It's a part of our EI package in the bulk of our homes. And what's really nice about that is, we're not saddling our customers with long dated contracts at these ridiculous high monthly expense or monthly fees. Our customers have the opportunity to opt in or not to the professional monitoring that Ring offers. To the extent our homeowners choose to do so, it's a month to month if they choose to, or it's an annual, and it's an incredibly reasonable price. It also includes the storage of all the video, which for us is very unique, something we've never offered. And very early on, we're seeing wonderful receptivity relative to that feature. So, and even if it's not that, even if, and I just get so excited, even if it's not them professionally monitoring, the ability just to hear the ding or the chime every time that front door opens, you wouldn't believe how meaningful that is to people. I have it too, and I take it for granted, but it's actually a pretty interesting feature.
Yeah. So the video too, I was telling Jamie earlier about a friend of mine who has it on his tree in his backyard. And so he has this video cached, I guess, of the first flight of these robins, the hatchings of these robins. And he had a robin's nest in a tree in his backyard. And he treasures that stuff.
Yeah, these become more nature cams for a lot of people. I'll tell you that I have them set up as nature cams.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, yes.
And I think people actually take that a little bit sometimes for granted. I mean, we always talk about security because that is a bigger use case, and it's where the sort of, I'll say, your budget comes from. But your front door, and again, your home, it is like another family member, and it's literally where your family members are. Your kids coming home from school, these special moments that are happening, these memories. So it is like capturing these moments in life, and we see it all the time of someone proposing to someone, and there's just so many amazing moments that happen that this also captures in the joy. I mean, I remember when there was a time when children went to school and came home from school. And I remember when that happened, and I would be away on a trip and I'd see my son run up with his backpack, and I get an emotion alert, and it just connects you in this way that's it emotionally connects you. And that's what I love, that we are sort of helping to do that with your home. I want that to be part of your experience. And when we talk about this.
That segue is great for motivations, I was thinking. So you have this emotional motivation. You have the classic kind of time and convenience, or impressing the neighbors, or confusing the cat. But what other kind of motivations are there for having this connected home? You just kind of you hit on one that most people don't think about, that emotional connection.
I mean, what we are doing, and the package that we are giving you enables you, whether you are home away, to really have full control and oversight on the home. So whether it's your water, your locks, your internet, seeing who's coming in and out, the access control, so the temperature, making sure it's secure or not secure when you want people to be able to get in. So we are giving you that full control. And then to Eric's point, if you want to go further, if you want cameras inside your house, great. There's lots of camera manufacturers that make those, including us. You can add those in. You have amazing internet in every nook and cranny, so you can just plop them in there, plug them in, and you're good to go. So it really is sort of, if you want to go to that next level on anything, it's enabling you to do it. But the base package is, I think, for most people, really, taking care of what you need. And then Ring, to Eric's point of the sort of this sort of app, where you're sort of just getting tired of all these apps, this fatigue, having this one app, selfishly, it does make a nice experience.
And I remember back when my kids were young, the old days was the monitor thing, and you had to go, you heard a noise, you had to go run in there. Now you have your camera on your baby, and it's right there. Eric, are there home buyer segments, niches of home buyers that are more or less accepting of this kind of technology?
Yes. The obvious is we build active adult communities, which, there's a generation out there that this doesn't really resonate with. Am I choking you up? Okay. That this doesn't resonate with. And then we'll find ourselves building, in and around tech hubs, Seattle, Austin, South Florida, And now we're seeing millennials come out and buying in droves. This is a very appealing proposition. And again, I don't think this would be nice to have. I think this is a must have. I think this is a standard for our industry. And I think what Jamie has curated, and there's no Lennar authorship here. I think this should be an industry standard for the entire home building industry. Yeah. What I learned in my limited time in the Valley dealing with a lot of tech founders, there's a ton of hubris in and amongst these founder types. Jamie and Ring, they know what they don't know. They're not in the lock business, but yet they were willing and open to putting a third-party lock manufacturer on their platform, a smart water valve manufacturer on their platform, Honeywell, on their platform. So that to us was extremely appealing. Others are very closed network and not so accepting of bringing others on board. I mean, that level lock, if you haven't seen it, is a category killer. I mean, the days of having a clunky keypad with this, battery pack on the inside of your home. I mean, arguably the front door should be the most sacred, elegant part of it's the experience when people walk into your home. It sets sort of the tone of that, initial experience it's the first visual that one encounters. And this lock, this is the most genius product. And, what they did, we're so happy to have this as a part of our offering. And the way Jamie and Ring have just welcomed Level into their family has been incredible.
It is interesting how the gee whiz item or feature becomes the expected standard very quickly in this industry. Yes. That seems like what's happening now.
And it's going to continue to, look, technology innovation happens, as we all know, at a very rapid pace. The fact that we have a partner that's going to continue to innovate within their own organization and continue to work with others that are innovating outside of their organization was very important to us. So that's pretty special.
I want to challenge you a little bit on the age qualified thing. I've always found that, maybe counterintuitively, those folks can be they're not to be leading edge, but they love those kind of features when it becomes easy to use and becomes something that their neighbors start doing.
I couldn't agree more. If as long as it's simple. Yeah. I'll sort of equate it to what's called the butterfly cell phone. It made it very easy. I might be off on the brand. I'm not plugging. I have nothing to do with whatever this telephone is. But anyway, it was a cell phone that was, there are certain age demographics that don't need a smartphone. Oh, yeah. And a very simple, like a phone with very large numbers that accomplishes
Jitterbug.
What's
Jitterbug?
That?
I think it's Jitterbug, right?
Maybe that was it, Jitterbug.
I think it's Jitterbug.
No.
Jitterbug.
Big buttons. No, but
and I apologize about the butterfly slip. But anyway, notwithstanding that, I think, yes, I agree with you. What we've put together here now is user friendly across all age brackets, call it, and it is much simpler than previous versions of our connected home or smart home.
Jamie, you're gonna say something?
I think that those cell phones is a good example of where, again, it's you try to put the features out there that are used and easy, and you try to for us, it's always make it so that you don't even realize you're using technology. Like bring it to the background point to where you sort of forget that it's technology and that it's just, again, flow. I have one on my house, and when a toilet is running, it's amazing. It says you're using, something's going on in your house. What do you basically, what do you want us to do? I'm going to shut the water off in the next 3 minutes. And if I wasn't home or didn't see it, I wouldn't let the water run, which in Southern California, it's like a precious resource. If it was something leaking. And so it's just kind of doing the things you forget that that's technology behind it. It's just something that's happening that's making your experience in your home better.
Eric, you mentioned a minute ago about how you introduced this in places like Seattle or Silicon Valley. It's more easily accepted or very easily accepted. Are there regions where it isn't more easily acceptable? And do you see that being pretty homogenous?
I think it's homogenous. I just think in those cities I mentioned earlier, it's just expected. It's almost like buying a car and it doesn't have power windows. The Wi-Fi guarantee, the most robust Wi-Fi system possible is expected. The listening stuff. Look, I drive a car that's got the audio command. I've never used it. How many people actually use that feature in their car? They're going to use their power windows. I think that it's generally accepted. It's homogenous, and in certain markets, it's a must, an absolute must.
Jamie, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Has Ring truly, literally impacted crime and crime rates? And you're going to need to bring receipts for this one. All right.
As I told you, our mission is around making neighborhoods safer. We've literally helped with people from, in our neighbors app, from finding lost pets and literally, lost people in the neighborhood. Just recently with the power outages in Texas, people are using the neighbors app. It was on Good Morning America, to connect with each other for food and water and who needed it. And so again, that connection of the community is so important. And then when it comes to crime, I think it was a few weeks ago that we have a video of someone trying to steal a catalytic converter, which is a thing that happens off of someone's car, and they were able to scare them off with the Ring device. So I would say that was a definite, that person got, was shushed off the property and did not steal the catalytic converter. So it is definitely, we feel very comfortable that it is helping and making neighborhoods safer, but it's also, again, it's making them better. It's not just about this like sort of hard crime concept. It's, it is finding lost pets. It is helping with getting a neighbor food when they need it, and in a crisis like the power outage. So it's much more rounded, I think, than just that.
Yeah. But I was joking about the receipts. I think it's incredibly intuitive that it has to have an impact on that. Porch piracy, I haven't seen the numbers, but that has to be going down because it's just the fear of Ring. I'm thinking that's my thought.
We definitely, we know anecdotally that we're impacting lots of things. I think anyone who's on this, probably if you watch the local news, it's hard to go a day or two without seeing some sort of story with a Ring video doorbell video showing something that, in a positive way did something for the community.
Yeah. Now, this could be for both of you, but maybe start with Eric, is that the main competition typically for a new home is an existing home, is resales, right? For the most part. Do you consider constant innovation and constant change and elevation of the connected home as a way to counter effectively the appeal of your main competition, resale homes, because to make it harder for them to come up to your standard, to retrofit an existing home to the standards that are embedded in a connected home?
I think for sure. We have the benefit of starting with a blank piece of paper and installing a lot of these things during the manufacturing process, the production process. Things like the water valve, things like the hubs for our Wi-Fi, the doorbell, the thermostats, and the lock. Yes, this is a big differentiator, something that all new home builders are embracing to compete with the existing housing stock. No question about it.
But just to be clear, Jamie, from your perspective, though, this is something that can be accommodated within most homes. Is that fair?
Yeah, I'd ask Eric to just cover his ears for a second, little earmuffs. But we do certainly build for the do-it-yourself retrofit homeowner. Obviously, in partnering with a home builder, to Eric's point, you can place things better. You have the opportunity when you're building a new house to think some of this stuff through versus retrofit. But certainly, some of our products go all the way to they're entirely battery operated or solar. So, even if you didn't wire something, you can use the battery operated doorbell at the front door. It's amazing, but over 50% of homes do not have working wires at the doorbell site. Now, that's not new homes, obviously, but on remodels or older homes that are in the stock. And so we do try to build for that retrofit. But what we're doing here, and this is where it's great, is that with Lennar, we're able to now develop, I would say, the best in breed, best in class kind of in the lab, if you will, because we have this sort of clean sheet to work around. And then, they're being very nice and letting us sort of bring that down into the remodel, into the retrofit, into that other side of the market, and that knowledge and bringing it down. So in some ways they are assisting their competitors in this, which is, I think it's something I've seen and learned from Lennar, is that they're actually very open to sort of wanting to bring the entire industry up, which is a very nice way to look at it, I think.
That actually, okay, Eric might have to put his earmuffs back on here for a minute, but this whole—
I'm happy to drop off.
Okay. But how are, it's not going to just be Lennar, right, in the future here. How are other new home builders going to get in on the Ring action?
I mean, we're actively reaching out to home builders, where we have a home builder division that's looking at doing this, from people that are building, I'd say one spec house all the way up to full communities. And we have different packages that we can offer. We like this Lennar package that we put together, which I'll call it the Lennar package, even though it's just sort of a package of products together. But like level lock, I mean, as Eric was talking about, I mean, we think that is a game changer in locks. And when people go to a new house and they see like that the smart lock looks like a regular lock, that the joy, the sort of excitement of seeing that, and not this big battery on the back, I think it's really interesting. So I do think we have a sort of best in breed set of products now that we can bring to the home builders to put in, and retrofitters, and even, going all the way down.
I like that best in breed, by the way. That's you stole that from the American Kennel Club, am I right?
Probably.
Okay.
He is a member of the AKC. So, Dean, there's no reason for me to put on earmuffs relative to our peers in the home building industry. Everything we do in LENx relative to technology, it's our goal to work with these technology companies to become the best version of themselves, to learn the intricacies of the home building industry, and to roll it out to the rest of the industry. Nothing we do is proprietary to Lennar, and that is pretty unique. We as home builders, our competition is not necessarily each other; it is the existing home market. And so, look, we compete for land, we compete for customers, but once a customer has made a decision, we should all give them the best experience possible and differentiate the new housing market. Is my belief.
No, I think you're exactly right. I mean, that's the technology really has become one of the main key differentiators. Was ceiling height or something like that, or plumbing or something like that. But now it seems like technology is that way that the new home sector differentiates from the resale sector. How do you see this playing out with home builders and the home building industry as a whole? Do you see this, Eric, as just kind of revolutionizing the home builder sector?
This technology?
Yeah,
I do. And I think we're in the very early innings. I think that, fasten your seatbelt. There is plenty to come. And, we have a tremendous edge for reasons we stated earlier. And yeah, I do think it's going to differentiate us.
How about the home buyer? Are we training the home buyer to expect something new and wow constantly and incessantly?
I would actually say, I think what we're doing is rather than almost revolutionizing, we're standardizing this. There's plumbing in every home. It's standard. There's electricity, there's outlets in every home. Everyone would know here how many feet. I know it's some sort of thing, but it's there. So I think we're standardizing on what the bar is for a new home. And I think that it's revolutionary in terms of that it's happening now. But I don't think in 10 years you would have a home built without these core pieces in them. And I think it's gonna be expected.
Just look, it's one less thing that a home purchaser has to think about, and that in itself. Think about all the decisions. The process of purchasing a home is fraught with friction. The call it T to T15, the first 15 days of owning a home. The decisions you have to make, the subscriptions, that there is so much that goes on to include this and make this. And by the way, a lot of those things, the decisions that people have to make, they need this connectivity to do these things. So it's It's part of making the customer journey of purchasing a home and living in their home elegant.
So not just standard really, but necessary.
That's the point.
I mean, especially when it comes to Wi-Fi, I mean, that is, I always get laughed at because my Jersey accent, but that is water, like that is like, that is a utility. That is plumbing. I mean, or electricity. I think it's expected. It should work. And when you move in, if you don't have Wi-Fi, I mean, all these other ancillary things, they're not just about technology, but like your kids doing Zoom school. Like, I mean, there's just so much there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we already come to that point where we forget how basic and necessary and foundational this stuff is. Jamie, I have a request from, I'm not your mother-in-law, or I think your mother, or I'm not a widow either, but we have a Ring Pro sitting on the table behind me since Christmas. Is there any chance you can come up and it has to be hardwired?
I've done a lot of installs in my time. I'm happy to do another one. Like I love nothing more. And by the way, besides it is funny, but like that's part of how I learn about this. And when you say surveys, I mean, my survey is going to someone's house and installing a Ring, an Eero, a floodlight cam, running into the problems that I would have with it, talking to my team. And I do that constantly because I think that's better than any survey, is that sort of direct ground level information.
I'm glad my wife's not here because she'd be running in and say, I know how to do it. I just haven't had time. She's very angry with me right now. Let's end this portion with a look forward, a glimpse into your crystal ball. So what's to the degree you can let us know, what's next for Connected Home? What's next for Ring? Any glimpse you can share with us?
Yeah, again, to me, it's about, we're going to continue to add, and this will accelerate us adding more inventions and more things around where we can help enable the home to be better for you. Our drone, I think, which is coming out later this year, is a great example of that, which is indoor cameras can feel invasive. The drone is for when you're out of the house and, the bedroom door goes ajar and your alarm is on. Now you have a camera that you can actually have there. You can see what's going on, but totally in a privacy centric way that then goes back and goes into a little place and you don't even see it when it's not being used, and it's, sort of in its privacy shroud. So I think it's things like that. We want to be able to leverage new technology, leverage things that are coming down the pike, but do it in a way that really adds that value for the homeowner, and specifically here, like for this, sort of package that we're doing today for the communities.
Eric, what's your thoughts on the future for Connected Homes?
We leave that to the inventors. Yeah. We're very low IQ. We just build homes. We rely on bright minds like Jamie to just keep on innovating and keeping us current and make sure that we don't become the next Blockbuster. I also have to say, Dean, I now understand why you got so sensitive relative to these adult communities. It's because you now qualify. And I'm not going to tell you who said that.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
But, I get it. And I apologize if I offended you. I certainly did not mean to offend you. Your jitterbug is coming. I've got that coming. Just send me your address.
I want the reinvention of the Sidekick because it had the little keyboard that flipped out. I need the big letters. I'm not wearing my glasses out of vanity. So yeah, all those things are true. It does seem to me though that the adaptability is the key to this though, right? You can accommodate those gadget accumulators and those folks by just, I imagine, Jamie, you've started with the package you have, which is sensational, but it's gonna grow and change over near term, right?
And then by being an open platform, you can add Alexa, which has 160,000 integrations to it that come through. And so, yeah, if you want to, you can go down the sort of long road of adding whatever you want, or just one single little piece. And I think that's what we love about it.
Please don't say the A word so loud because it might start talking.
I know. I apologize.
Hey, Dean, I know we're at time. Okay. So awesome webinar and amazing questions. I loved the wrap-up questions. And thank you both for being on the webinar. It was a blast to hear from you guys. And I think you guys all had a lot of fun as far as I can tell. So thank you for joining us. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Dean, thank you.
All right. Right on. See ya.